Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
All right, let me start. As a Nigerian, this bill that, of course, is in the works in the House, how does it meet you? Are you inspired to go to the polls?
I'm thinking that maybe the members of the National Assembly don't know what. I don't know. Where do you get it from?
Justice, if you can hear me, I think we are having a bit of difficulty hearing you. I guess maybe it's the earpods. If it's possible to speak with us directly from the device. Okay, so Justice, we'll come back to you. We really cannot hear you. But if it's possible to do without the AirPods, I would definitely appreciate it. But we'll come back to you on your response to that. Joining the conversation right now is Khalid Barau, is the SSA to the Executive Governor of Bauchi State on empowerment. Khalid, thank you for your time.
It's my pleasure.
All right, Khalid, just like I asked Justice, I mean, as a politician, this proposal in the House to ensure mandatory voting, for those of voting age, is that a win for a politician like yourself?
Well, Mr. Dapo, I think this shouldn't be an issue in this country because we have more pressing issues than making elections to be compulsory. When you want Nigerians to go into elections and vote for their leaders or representatives at all levels of authority, you just need to create an avenue for the people to have confidence and trust between the leaders and the electorate. Because as it is now, people are beginning to lose their trust. You understand? People are beginning to have no faith again in the leadership. So you need to bridge that gap, create that trust. You understand? Create an enabling environment for people to have the belief and respect for leaders. That will, encourage people to come into election. But going into something that contradicts the fundamental human right of Nigerians, that is by making it compulsory for people to go into elections, it has contradicts a lot of sections in the Constitution. Of course, yes, I'm not a legal practitioner, but I know of some sections like Section 38, Section 37, Section 38, and all other sections that protect citizens of their fundamental human rights and of their right to vote and be voted for. So I think this should not be an issue that will spark controversy in this country. We have pressing issues. We have insecurity issues. We have issues of economy. We have so many pressing issues that need to be addressed. So issue of making elections to become compulsory for Nigerians is not what Nigerians need at the moment.
So just to be clear, is this an advice you're giving to the House that, look, aside pushing for bills like this, why not push for something on security? Is that what you're saying to the House?
Absolutely. If you could remember, some weeks ago, there was a member from PKK, that is Punction and other local government in Plateau State, Honorable Yusuf Gagdi, who stood up and in a very harsh voice called on the attention of the leadership of the House to know that they have a responsibility for Nigerians, especially with the issue of attacking barracks in Maiduguri, that people are fleeing now from their own comfort zones to other places in pursuit of shelter because of the resurgence of the Boko Haram insurgent in the northeast. So you see, that is the issue that we need our representatives to focus on, not try to create laws or enact laws that will make elections compulsory for the citizens. Do something that will touch the life of ordinary citizens, that something that people know that, yes, I have sent representatives at the National Assembly that will protect my rights and privileges as a citizen of this country.
Permit me to just digress a bit, to talk about insecurity, for instance. I mean, Bauchi State has not really had issues in that light, but quite a number of states in the north, are under fire constantly, daily. I mean, as a government, are you worried?
Absolutely, not just as a government, as a citizen, as a young man. Everybody is worried with the increasing insecurity, and especially the resurgence of the Boko Haram in the northeast in particular, and the Electoral issues in the northwestern part of the country, the banditry, the kidnappings, and other menaces that's causing a lot of havoc in this country. You see, in the north, what we do the most is farming. So once your lives and properties are not protected, then there is no means of you to go to the farm and do your farm. You understand? So you need food security and humans and life security so that the country will move forward. So everybody is worried, not just government, not the people in position of authority. Every single Nigerian is worried with the state of insecurity in this country.
All right, but I mean, what would you consider the missing gap or the breach? Why do you think over the years, I mean, you're in power at the moment, what do you think we've not been getting right in actually tackling this insecurity menace in that part of the country? We are beginning to see these groups come back stronger, better empowered, better, armed. And it's making it look like the efforts, the resources, put in by the government year in, year out, isn't yielding fruit. I mean, what would you consider the missing link here?
Well, you see, I have so much respect for our security agencies because they have put their lives on the line to protect the integrity and sovereignty of this nation. And my prayers always is for them to win this war against the insurgents. But I think the major aspect of it is for the government and the security agencies to adopt a technological means of fighting the insurgents. Now, terrorists, insurgents, people are using the technology of using drones. They are using all other social media platforms to showcase their strengths and their tactics in dealing with such kind of problems. Even this morning, I was going through Facebook. I saw a video. One of the terrorists from Northeast was sending a warning to our own very chief of defense staff, General CG Musa. And if you look at the boy, he's just a boy of less than 30 years of age. So how can an insurgent have connection with the social media now that the technology is in your hand, the world is in your hand, that you can use all other means of technology to fight these people, that they are still using technology to send messages to us, trying to show to the world that yes, here we are and there is nothing you can do about us. So I think government and security agencies should change their means and tactics of fighting these people, because we know, yes, they have been trying, and they have put their lives on the line, and we appreciate them for what they are doing. But we, like Oliver Twist, we still want them to do more.
All right.
Because adopting strategic and technological means to fight these insurgents, I think will go a long way.
All right. All right, Khalid, thank you so much. We'll definitely come back to you. I understand that we have Justice Uegbu back. He's a legal practitioner. Justice, thank you for joining us back. I believe that would have a seamless connection with you. Now, back to the issue at hand. The proposal by the House to criminalize people that do not vote but are voting age. You are trying to establish your point of view on it.
Well, I don't know. Can you hear me very well now?
Very well. It's clean.
Okay, now, for me, it is laughable because it's going to be dead on arrival, and it's so unfortunate that our National Assembly is going this direction when they should be looking at or focusing at more better things or vital things to do to change the narrative in this country. This issue of criminalizing voting, I mean, where did it come from? Already, the issue of voting by, as we know, even by law, is mandatory for every Nigerian. Though the fact is that it's an issue of choice, because the provision for franchise provides the right to vote and the right to be voted for. They should be asking themselves, why is it that Nigerians for now do not have interest in voting again? That should be their focus, and not this issue of trying to criminalize voting. When you did not vote, it becomes a criminal offense. So what if after voting and you go and do another thing, INEC and all the people will go and do their normal abracadabra? What happens? Have you criminalized that one? So for me, it's neither here nor there. They should be reasonable and think of better things to do for Nigerians other than this nonsense they are doing.
All right, Justice, I mean, you just put it there really bluntly. But, I mean, if I'm to get you correctly, are you saying that with all of this that they are doing, they seem to put the cart before the horse and not really addressing the root cause of maybe voter apathy, which, of course, is the objective they're trying to tackle?
In fact, that is the issue. It will not work. First of all, because you are not looking at the root cause of what is causing the problem in our electoral system. We are talking about electoral reforms. We are talking about how do you make Nigerians to begin to have trust in the system again. There is a disconnect between the people and the electoral system. The electoral umpire, the politicians, the political landline in the country, everything is now a mess. And you're talking about making voting compulsory. Let me tell you the truth. If things are going well the way it should be, every Nigerian wants to come out and vote. But Nigerians know that there's nothing like voting. Nigerians know that their vote do not count. What we are experiencing in Nigeria today is selection and not election. So what are we saying? Why are they deceiving themselves? They know the truth. Why can't they say the truth and look for the appropriate way to tackle this problem? I think the major problem we should be facing now is, what do we do to our electoral system? Many people, or some people, were arrested the last election, or some INEC officials that compromised. What happened? At the end of the day, what happened? You expect Nigerians to queue from morning till night and come and cast their vote. At the end of the day, you go there and do as it pleases you. You expect them to come out again. No Nigerian is interested in that, because the slogan now is that he who pays the piper determines the tune. Nigerians know, they are aware. In as much as we are doing everything possible to see if we can change the mindset of Nigerians and begin to rekindle the spirit of Nigerians in electing or selecting our leaders.
All right, we'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll still dwell on this topic. Do stay with us. We'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. It's still Politics HQ on News Central Television, and of course we are looking at the recent proposal by the House to criminalize not voting, particularly people of voting age. I still have Khalid Barao, the SSA to the Executive Governor of Bauchi State on empowerment. He joins virtually from Abuja, and also Justice Uegbu is a legal practitioner who is also joining virtually. Gentlemen, thank you for staying with me. Let me come to you, Khalid. Khalid, let's look at political parties and their role in the electoral process. They will tell you that political parties are even the biggest beneficiaries. But many of the challenges that, we face in the country during elections, some of it, quite a number of it, can largely be traced to the activities of political parties. You talk of vote buying, for instance, inducement. You trace the root cause. Is one political party that maybe is responsible. You look at the issue of violence too, can be traced to political parties, more often than not. So my question is this, even though there are laws that sort of guide the activities of political parties, do you think that the House should also come up with more stringent laws to ensure compliance for political parties and politicians? Because I also know you're a politician. Should the House come up with stringent laws, even though we have laws that guide the activities of political parties during elections, which are the biggest beneficiaries. But many of the challenges Nigerians see or we see during elections are largely traced to activities of political parties, vote buying, violence. You check it, you find out that it's one political party that is the sponsor or not. I mean, you're a politician. Do you think that the House should come up with more stringent laws, that guide the activities of politicians and political parties during elections? Do you think that's where they should also focus their energy?
Well, Mr. Dapo, there is one problem that we have in this country, and the problem is that we are not strengthening our institutions. What we normally do is strengthening individuals. If we strengthen our institutions, you understand, those laws should not even go to the National Assembly. Even the apex body that conducts election in Nigeria, that is INEC, can create laws and Nigerians will follow. But the major bond of contention here is even INEC, you understand, cannot and is not strong enough for individuals to respect guidelines of elections. Now, there are laws that guide spendings during elections and other stuff. But the major problem is every political party that is in power doesn't respect that and will do contrary to the provisions of the law. You understand? And nobody will say a word to them. So even if laws are created for that purpose, only the weak political parties will be at the mercy. You understand? So if National Assembly will create laws that will, regulate the cost of elections in Nigeria, that would be fine. That would be okay.
I mean, talking about, because we really need to go. We really need to go. I mean, just for me to hit the nail on the head, you are talking about strengthening institutions. For instance, Peter Obi was proposing that corrupt leaders, just like what we see in China, be put to the death. There should be death penalty for corrupt political leaders. Do you think that should be applicable in Nigeria for politicians who steal public funds?
That to happen. I would love that to happen.
You want that to happen?
To see a speedy trial with our own judiciary for corrupt practices in Nigeria, so that people who are corrupt will now face the wrath of the law, will be prosecuted, will be indicted, and will be sent to jail. I would love that to happen in Nigeria, because that will be the only way that our institutions will be strengthened and will be strong enough.
All right. I would also direct the same question to Justice. Justice, I believe you had the question, making reference to a suggestion Peter Obi did give. He's saying that, look, we are talking about strengthening the institutions. Do you think that death penalty for political leaders in Nigeria should be something we should consider, just like we see in China?
Contesting presidential election. But for people like us that belong to the civil society organization, we had earlier said this to Nigerians and to the government that the best thing we should do is to criminalize corruption. Corruption has not been criminalized in Nigeria, and that is what is happening to us. Again, going back to the question you asked previously, you see, we don't have political parties in Nigeria again. What we have now is cabals. It's not a political party, because a party has a modus operandi, the way it operates and the way it does things for the benefit of its members and for the benefit of Nigeria. Political parties used to have manifestos, and they must follow their manifestos, which is saying so once they get into power. But today, there's nothing like manifesto in political parties. Manifesto you see that becomes ceremonial. So that is the problem we're having today. And if you remember, during the time of NEC, National Electoral Commission, the system was different. But since we now renamed it Independent National Electoral Commission, I think that is when we had the worst form of electoral umpire in the system. So that is the problem we're having. We must tell ourselves the truth and go back and do the right thing.
All right, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure having you on the program this evening. I'd like to say a big thank you. Khalid Barao, the SSA to the Executive Governor of Bauchi State on empowerment. It's been a pleasure. Justice Uregbo, legal practitioner. Thank you always. Thank you for your time.